I'm going to show you guys how I took this trade on the NASDAQ last Friday, which netted me over 250 ticks. I'm going to be sharing my exact methods and also my strategy. So let's get started. So for high time frame buyers, I start my analysis on the hourly time frame. It gives me enough information to scalp quickly in and out for this market. So that's my preferred time frame. I don't use the daily anymore. Daily is a little bit too slow. So 90% of my high time frame buyers determination that happens on my hourly chart. So as we can see here, in the last 2 weeks, price made this huge bullish move towards the upside before melting down upon the red folder news, aka CPI, last Thursday. And there's a reason that why this happened, and I'm going to get into it now. So when price goes up or down, it actually leaves levels. And what do you mean by that? So when price moves up, it will leave levels like that. So they will leave, in this case, it's called sell side liquidity, and there's an equal low here. So these levels indicates smart money is generating liquidity in an attempt to run it in the near future. And price will actually tip its hand, and the market will show where it wants to go by manipulating a level first before showing that. So in this case, in the bullish move, price has left so many levels of liquidity here, resting liquidity. These are where retail traders place their stop loss. And before this move down, what can you see? And this is what smart money does. It swept buy side liquidity here before running all the way down. Price will actually fool retail traders by thinking that it's going to go up, but in actual fact, the target's right here, where it will sweep and raid these levels of sell side liquidity. Now, I did not take a trade during the CPI news event because I like to trade post red folder news, and even if I trade that, if I don't see a pattern, or rather a setup that I want to see, I don't normally trade. So the market netted over 500 points for this move in a couple hours, but that's okay. Patience is the one that actually pays the trader. So you want to see where the market takes price first before actually going in for a trade. So we can see here on Friday, I was actually monitoring this on the 15-minute time frame, but before that, on the hourly time frame, I could also see that price swept these two sell side liquidity levels here, and upon sweeping it, just going to take this away. So we can see price swept liquidity here. So upon sweeping, where do you think price is going to go? I would think potentially price will look to go upwards here, right? Because it has swept liquidity. The target will be somewhere here. And if you didn't already know, or rather if you can't already see, there are resting liquidity levels right here. All these buy side liquidity levels. And furthermore, in the market, algorithms will always travel like that. So you can see from this swing high to this swing low, price will always attempt to rebalance into a premium or discount before moving towards its intended direction. We can see that price will probably attempt to rebalance all the way to 0.5 here, which is equilibrium, before showing its hand of where it wants to go again. So price has swept this sell side liquidity level. I'm possibly looking for price to retrace to somewhere here. So back into down towards the 15-minute time frame, we can also still see that there isn't much happening at the moment. I'm still monitoring price, so let's move forward. There was actually PPI news as well, so I didn't trade this because it's red folder news. Like I said, I only trade post-news event. There was a huge move upwards towards here, and we can see that it has taken this level of buy-side liquidity. So let's just take that out just to make it clearer. It has also attacked and punched through this liquidity level here. There was still an event that's happening at 10 o'clock, so now it's 9:45. I still haven't taken my trade yet, so I'm just waiting for the news to pass. And we can see here at 10 o'clock, this was a red folder news, but I'm just going to show you red folder news. That was preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment. Red folder news, but I didn't really take it. Still waiting. And let's move forward one more bar. And what can we see here? So now it's a green light for me to take a trade if the setup was to show its hand. I can see that the market has taken this liquidity, and I'm still a bit iffy on whether I should take a trade. But here's what I noticed. I noticed that price has left a 15-minute fair value gap here, right? We can see that this candle here, price encroached into it. Price has encroached into it, and it has rejected it. Let me take that away. Rejected it by wicking into this 15-minute fair value gap before closing within this candle. So what does that indicate to me? It indicates that price is respecting this fair value gap and potentially showing me that price is looking to go towards the upside. And on the 5-minute time frame, there'll be even more information for this. So we can also see that there's a 5-minute fair value gap here that's nested within that 15-minute fair value gap. And apart from that, what else can you see? Remember how I told you when before price looks to go a certain direction, there will be a certain manipulation that will have to occur first. So in this case, we already know that price is potentially moving towards the upside. So what do you think has to happen first? Manipulation. So where do we see manipulation here? Well, for me, manipulation happened right here. Right? The candle wicked into the 15-minute gap and the 5-minute gap that's nested within the 15-minute fair value gap. Wicked it, closed inside of this candle. Where do you think price is looking to go? Possibly here, buy side liquidity, because that's where the liquidity is, and price has shown us that it's rejecting this fair value gap and respecting bullish PD arrays, right? Well, bullish PD arrays are like bullish order blocks, bullish fair value gap, that sort of stuff. So bearish is the inverse, the opposite. So on the 5-minute fair value gap, we can see, on the 5-minute time frame, we can see that price is possibly looking to go up. And indeed, where is price going? See what I told you? Rejected this bullish fair value gap here and pretty much aimed for this liquidity level right here. But you can also see on a shorter time frame that there are heaps of resting liquidity here, right? There's one here which I've plotted from before on the high time frame. There's one here, and there's also one here. So I was actually monitoring on the 5-minute as well as the 1-minute. So down to the 1-minute time frame, I entered my trade, I think, around 10:27. That was way past the red folder news event. And what can you see here? It becomes even more apparent and clear, isn't it? The levels of manipulation on price, what it wants to do. We can see that on the 5-minute time frame there was manipulation, and on the 1-minute time frame it's even clearer. It swept here and displaced upwards very, very quickly. And what can we also notice here? I'll give you a hint. Price went down and went up right away. What did this create? A market structure shift. And not just that, we already know price is respecting the 15-minute and the 5-minute. And look what the market's giving us. It's giving us here a 1 minute fair value gap that has been rejected by so many candles here. And look, everything is lining up for me now to take this trade. So I've already noticed that there was a 1 minute fair value gap here, market structure shift, manipulation. So this was my trade. Took it 10.27, and I think I took it off around 10.42. I was actually trailing my stop loss and taking partials off because partial pays. And basically, if I was to move my price forward, market forward, we can see that it just kept on going up. And these were my exact executions. So on the 5 minute time frame, you guys can see about 5 lots here, partials taken off, and I took off my whole position at 20624. Now, why did I take my positions off here? Because look, on the high time frame, price may attempt to reach these levels up here, but that's not a guarantee, right? Because price can reverse anytime. So there was, I took enough of the pie that day that netted me over 250 ticks. I wasn't willing to trail more as well because it's a Friday. Traders probably look to take profit and market will be slowing down. So I was quite happy with my trade actually. And basically, you can see that price continued to make its way up. And look, it's just consolidating at the moment. And look, what did I say? These were buy-side liquidity, but price sometimes has a mind of its own. My tip for you is, and this is financial advice, non-financial advice I should say, is that let the market show you where it wants to go before taking a trade. Right? A lot of the traders will just see, okay, it's just a sweep. I'm just going to take this trade on a lower time frame. You need to have a couple of things, or rather a few things, that align with your high time frame buyers, and go into that lower time frame and see whether it aligns with your setup as well. And that is what gives me the confidence to take this trade. And that was what netted me over 250 ticks. And if we continue to play more, you can see price didn't actually move too far ahead. It actually made its way all the way down. And you've probably heard the term bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. Why pigs get slaughtered? Because they're greedy. Greedy pigs get slaughtered. So I hope this video was helpful. If I was to break it down for you, my top-down analysis would be high time frame buys on the 1 hour, wait for price to show you its hand, trade only during the kill zones. I trade between 9:30 and 11:30 a.m. even if a position was to show its hand after 11:30. I don't trade because you need to follow a strict set of rules if you want to be successful. So that's it for today, guys. I hope this video was helpful. Drop a comment if you guys enjoyed this kind of stuff, this kind of content. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll catch you guys in the next one.